Magandang araw sa ating lahat. This is the Theater Talks episode on Sound for Theater. At ako si Cristel Manalo. Ako ang makakasama niyo for this episode as your moderator. Bagong lahat, ipapakilala namin ang pinakabagong component ng Virgin Love Fest or VLF, ang Theater Talks. Para paigtingin pang educational trust ng VLF, the Theater Talks will cover a variety of topics. Makakapanayam natin ang mga inanyayahang tagapagsalita ng mga dalubhasa sa iba't ibang aspeto ng teatro. This year, meron tayong tatlong exciting episode. Una, ang Sound for Theater. Kasunod, ang dramaturgical practices in the Philippines. At pangatlo, the collective creative processes. Nilalayan naming isulong ang mga diskurso sa creative impact of sound, performance, at performance making. Maya-maya lang, ipapakilala na namin ng mga speakers na malugod na tumanggap sa ating mga invitation to share their experiences and know-how. O, handa na ba kayo? Pero bago ang lahat, pakinggan muna natin ang mensahe ng Presidente ng Cultural Center of the Philippines or CCP, Mr. Arsenio Lizazo.
The Cultural Center of the Philippines takes pride in Filipino artists who continue to produce untried, untested, unpublished, unstaged plays, brought to the fore in Virgin Lab Fest, which is now on its 17th year. In spite of the ongoing pandemic, I am glad that this situation has not diminished our thirst for exciting, original works. By promising writers and vibrant stage experimentations of our country's directors and actors whose artistic passion continues to fuel new and bold approaches to theater works. For that, we salute and await their works with curiosity and excitement, including Theater Talks, which is the newest component of the Virgin Lab Fest. I am certain that with the results of transforming new materials into theater pieces in a hybrid setting, the boldness and innovativeness of this current batch of artists will further set the benchmark for meaningful and relevant theater work amidst the current health situation. To Tanghalan Pilipino and the Writer's Block, I extend my warmest congratulations and gratitude for their incessant exploring of novel expressions in the field of drama. Such collaborative endeavor truly enables theater to be a potent instrument for uplifting the spirits of human society and boosting the artistic environment as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Lizazo. Pakinggan naman natin ang mensahe ng ating Artistic Director of the CCP, Mr. Chris Miliado.
Pagbati, greetings. I'm Chris Miliado, Vice President and Artistic Director of the Cultural Center of the Philippines, welcoming you to the talkbacks of the Virgin Lab Fest. Our live edition after almost 2 years of doing hybrid or online versions of this well-loved and very popular play festival. I am speaking to you right now, not only as artistic director, but as a playwright myself and a director. These are two very important roles that are being highlighted in our Virgin Lab Fest. As you very well know, everything stays on paper when you write a new play, but it needs a transformation needs to happen from page to stage, and this is where the director comes in. And the festival, we're very glad to say, has been this very rich and fertile ground for collaboration between the playwright's voice and the director, as well as the actors who give life to the lines and the dialogue, and the other collaborators, the design and the creatives who collaborate to enrich the life of the play. These talkbacks are quite exciting and important for an original play festival like the Virgin Lab Fest because, as you know, unlike established works, this is the first time these works are performed And we could imagine that it goes through a lot of processes and it goes through a lot of dialogue between the playwright and the director as the major collaborators in this project. And I think this is where the focus of these talks are. I understand this series of talks will focus on the collective creative process. And I think collective is the perfect term for it because theater, unlike other artworks, is largely and collective in terms of the whole creative process. Also, dramaturgical processes in the Philippines. The dramaturg is almost like a recent quote-unquote collaborator, but has played a major role in terms of providing bigger worlds and ideas so that the whole process is enriched. And of course, sound design. It might sound very technical, but the way that sound and music and scoring has played in bringing out the life of the play or the production has played a key role in the staging of these original works. I would like to thank especially our festival directors, Tessa Mias and Marco Viana, for curating and for putting all of this together and spending and leading this collaborative process with all our playwrights, our directors, our actors, our creatives, and the production staff. Again, as coming from playwright and a director and artistic director of the Cultural Center of the Philippines, I wish you all the best in the coming productions. Break a leg, and I hope you have the most fruitful and productive conversations in the talkbacks. Maraming salamat at mabuhay kayong lahat.
Thank you, Mr. Miliado. And now, let's hear from the VLF 17 Festival Co-Artistic Director, Tess Hamias.
Mabuhay sa inyong lahat. Welcome to the Virgin Lab Fest 17 Hinga. Welcome to Theater Talks. Thank you all for being part of the very first Theater Talks, a forum series that engages in conversations of, around, with, and for theater. Thank you very much to the WS Family Foundation for their generous grant that made this Theater Talks possible. Our current situation has underlined the importance of seeking new, meaningful means of engaging with people, with our audiences. By inviting theater practitioners to share their experience and know-how, Theater Talks also supports the continuing explorations of other ways of doing, creating. This year, we have lined up 3 episodes on the topics of sound for theater, dramaturgical practices in the Philippines, and collective creative processes. Together with the 12 new one-act plays in the Featured Works platform, the Playwrights Fair, and the Writing Fellowship Program, Theater Talks strengthens the educational thrust of the VLF, for we see theater, art, and performance making as vital in the growth and shaping of our culture, our people. Once again, thank you all for coming. Welcome to Theater Talks.
Thank you, Ma'am Tess. Ayan, konting-konti na nga lang papunta na tayo sa exciting part at sigurado akong matutuwa kayo for this session dahil ang ating mga speakers are all accomplished sound designers. Hindi na nga ako magtataka kung ilan sa inyo ay nakita o narinig na ang kanilang mga pangalan o kaya naman ang kanilang mismong tunog sa iba't ibang theater productions. Kaya for this session, they will discuss their practice on sound as an audiovisual experience in theater production, and they will also share their own experiences or life stories with sound designing. Kaya naman, wag na natin patagalin ito. I-introduce ko na ang ating first speaker. She is a composer, sound designer, and a curious listener with a wide range of work for film, theater, and dance. Past work for theater include Games People Play, Tribes, Constellation, under Red Turnip Theater, Bona, under My Skin, and 3 Stars and a Sun, under PETA. Next fall, under Repertory Philippines, Marisol, Middle Finger, and Boy, under Tanghalang Ateneo, Measure for Measure and Tisoy Brown, under Dolaang UP. Paano turuan ng babae humawak ng baril, Kafatiran, Mga Koneho, and Macho Dancer, under Virgin Love Fest. Haring Tubol and Batalya Royal, under Sipat Lawit and Sam. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Reza Barroso.
Hi. I encourage, if you have headphones or earphones, Baka gusto niyong kunin kasi may kaunti tayong papakinggan. Magandang gabi. Ako po ulit si Teresa Barroso. Ako po ay isang curious listener. I am a composer, I'm a sound designer, and a sound artist working in the fields of media, entertainment, and the arts. As a composer, I do mostly film music compositions. Here are some of the films I have worked on. I also compose music and do sound design for theater. I often collaborate with dance and performance artists, creating music and soundscapes for their works. My general practice revolves around sound. I make works, installations, objects, sound situations, using sound or concepts on sound as my medium. As part of my sound artwork, I also organize events and do performances investigating the listening culture. But for tonight, I will be sharing about my sound practice in theater. To be frank, I kinda hate being asked these questions. What is sound? What is theater? What is sound design? What is a sound designer for theater? Siguro kasi napakalawak ng sakop ng sound at ng teatro at mahirap para sa akin i-simplify ang definitions ng mga ito. So, sa ngayon, I will just define the terms as simple as possible in its most basic sense. What is sound? Simplified. Everything you hear. But sometimes it's something you see. But that's for another presentation. For now, it's everything you hear. So what is theater? Theater is a collaborative form of performing art that uses live performers, usually actors or actresses, to present the experience of a real or imagined event before a live audience in a specific place, often a stage. Salamat, Wikipedia. So what is sound design? Sound design is the crafting of sounds for any media or pwede rin space. When we say any media, pwedeng sa pelikula, yung mga narinig nating tahol ng aso na minsan wala namang aso makikita pero may tumatahol or sound effects sa cinema, di ba? At pwede rin, of course, dito nga sa theater, we have sa advertising, napakahalaga. Napakahalaga pala ng mga ganong decision sa advertising. May mga commercials kang pinapanood, yung pagkakagat ng Chicken Joy. Kasi, syempre, kailangan na-attract ka dun sa napapanood. Lalo na at narinig mo yung crispy, juicy. Oh, shucks, nakakagutom. Suddenly, natitrigger ka. Gusto ko Jollibee. Gusto ko Chicken Joy. Kasi yung ganun yung pagkagat sa Chicken Joy, narinig mo. Also, sabi ko nga, di ba, sound design for any media or space. So, for example, papasok ka sa Starbucks. Ano bang ang mga naririnig natin doon? Halimbawa, may playlist sila. Ito ba ay FM radio? Ito ba ay AM radio? Ito ba ay rock music? So, basically, curated yung music playlist nila. Usually, jazz. So, for Starbucks. No? And ang daming use at kahulugan ng mga pinapatunog sa bawat restaurant na pupuntahan natin. Whether restaurant, whether bar. Also, halimbawa sa groceries. Pag pumasok ka sa grocery, meron ding soundscape doon. May playback din. Tapos mamaya, minsan may happy to serve. I think that is part of sound design and performance, of course. Also in sports, lalo na sa US, halimbawa may baseball game. Aside sa din-document yung game, merong mga field recordists na nakakalat. Halimbawa, baseball game, no? Tapos, pag nanood ka ng mga games nila, pag binato yung bola, pagpalo ng bat sa ball, rinig na rinig. Tapos, o kaya kapag nag-home run, mga audience na, wow! Ang kapal ng sound. Akala mo, nilay-in yung sound, pero hindi, yun yung live sound. Tapos, ang linis. And ang crisp, that is part of sound design. Even the capturing of the crowd. Grabe, as in, pati sa basketball, yung rinig mo, even yung rubber shoes sa court, iba rin yung nadadala niya sa audience, na ramdam mo, yung referee, yung lahat ng sounds, di ba? So, that is part of sound design. So next, what is a sound designer or who is a sound designer? Basic, it is a person who crafts and designs sound for theater works. Sound designer for theater, yeah. Lastly, gusto kong tanungin, are you a sound designer? Halimbawa, broken-hearted ka. Iniwan ka, tapos medyo masochista ka, so punta ka sa Spotify. Tapos pipili ka ng playlist, lahat ng pinakamasakit na kanta. Hindi lang yon, lahat ng mga kanta na magkasama kayo, yun yung playlist nyo, papakinggan para masaktan ka. Syempre, I'm coming from my personal experience, di ba? Anyway, gumagawa ka ng playlist para pakinggan mo, para may iiyakan ka. Maybe you are already doing sound design. Or maybe you're creating TikTok or IG Reels, mag-video ka, tapos hahanapan mo ng apt na music track or sound effect yung existing video mo para masuportahan yung joke mo, kung ano man yon or yung narrative mo doon. Very short clips. That is already, for me, sound designing. Or, ganun din, pag vlogs, content creator ka, or kahit nanonood ka, ang creative ng mga vloggers, tapon ng sound. Nagkukwento sila using the sound, diba? So, cacophony of sounds talaga. Para, yun, supportahan yung narrative nila, supportahan yung joke nila, supportahan yung subtext, yung hindi nila sinasabi, pero re-reactan nila, sasabayan nila ng sound. If you're doing that, you are doing sound design, diba? Sige pa, mas personal. If you find yourself putting on a pair of headphones, for example, maingay ang kapitbahay. Nag-video kayo, wala sa tono, ay nako, nakakainis, ganyan, ang ingay. Pero, mag-headphones ka para mag-drown yung noise nila. May road trip ka, gagawa ka ng playlist. Ano ba yung mga pinakamasayang mga kanta kapag nag-road trip? Gagawa ka ng playlist. Or, ganito kasimple, kung ikaw ay nanay o kaya ate, maingay yung mga kapatid mo. Ang ingay nila, tapos sabihin mo, umakyat nga kayo, doon kayo, kasi hindi ako makakonsentrate sa inaaral ko o sa trabaho ko. For me, that's parang sound designing. Kasi, you're actually, may acknowledgement na these sounds ay nakaka-apekto sa current mong trabaho. It changes something sa space mo. Kung sa theater, parang, hihinaan natin yung sound, bababa natin yung level sa mixer para mas makafocus sa ibang tunog or sa ibang action. If you are already doing these things, then I think meron tayong konsepto ng pagde-design ng sound. You're already doing sound design work. Because you are designing the sound of your surroundings. So I guess we can safely say that sound design involves designing the soundscape of your environment. Sound in theater is everything that you hear in a theater performance. And this includes sound, like sound effects, music, voice, and action. For sound, magpa-play ako ng mga familiar na tunog. Simple na, mga cliché na rooster. Wala namang pinakitang picture sa'yo ng manok, pero alam mong manok siya. Napaka-basic na itong sinasabi ko. Pero hindi natin napapansin yung mga ganyan. So, as simple as thunder, sound effects, or mga piniplayback sa, halimbawa sa teatro. At ang thunder, maraming iba-ibang klaseng thunder. May thunder na nakakatakot, may thunder na nagbabadya. So, ano kaya itong thunder na ito? Halimbawa ito. Playback lang ako, How about this? Actually, commentary din siya Din ganito, stingers. Usually, narinig natin sa mga vlogs. Another one. It's not as natural as the rooster and the thunder. This is a sound effect, a swoosh, no? Yan. Ito yung mga bagay na minsan hindi natin talaga napapansin kapag nanonood tayo. Pero nararamdaman natin kapag nasa teatro. So, when I say sound, I'm referring to these sounds. Also, when I say sound, I'm talking about music design. What do I mean by that? So, basically, yung pagpili ng mga music, or kung may composer kayo, pwedeng siya yung nagko-compose ng music para sa theater work. The use of music to add to the narrative. Halimbawa ito.
Paro-parong bukid na lilipad-lipad sa gitna ng...
Anong sinasabi nitong music na to? Tanong ko lang, nadadala ba kayo sa isang setting? Nadadala ba kayo sa mall? Nadadala ba kayo sa bukid? Hindi ko alam. Even the quality of the sound says something.
At mananalangin at sa kalalakan ng
What do I mean by quality? Alam natin na hindi siya modern, hindi siya synthesized. Even yung quality na parang galing sa plaka. So, these are the things na hindi lang siya about the music, but about the quality of the sound. At yung quality ay may binibigay na kahulugan. O isa pa, music. Palagi nating naririnig yan. So, basically, it's commenting on something, di ba? So, may sinasabi siya. That's sound and music. Now, what do I mean kapag sinabi ko voice? Para sa akin, hindi lang yung mga pinarinig ko ang concern ng sound designer. Concern niya rin ang boses ng mga actors. Hindi siguro directly kasi andyan naman ang director para i-direct yung mga linya or yung how lines are delivered. Because, again, sabi ko, sound is anything that you hear. For example, the voices ng actors or the ensemble, kino-consider siya kung masyado bang malakas, masyado bang mahina, may kahulugan ba yun kapag nilakasan, baka mainam kapag hininaan. Even yung pitch ng pagkasabi ng mga salita, considered yun. Kasi nagbibigay din yun ng kulay at kahulugan sa naratibo. Even the density of the sound that the ensemble is creating, I think kailangan i-consider yun ng sound designer. Kasi pwedeng either makasira or makatulong, kailangan siyang i-consider para mas mapag-isipan kung ano yung ilalagay na tunog or pwedeng hindi ilagay na tunog. Even yung timbre, yung quality ng sound na pinoproduce ng actor, nagbibigay rin yun ng kahulugan. So, things na pwedeng i-consider ng sound designer yun para sa akin, ano? Kung ito bang tunog na to ay lalagyan ng effect, like halimbawa, lalagyan ba to ng reverb? At ano ang kahulugan nun kapag itong boss na to at itong salita na ito ay nilagyan ko ng reverb. Halimbawa, sabi ko, mga kababayan, normal lang. So kapag reverb, alam niyo kapag kumakanta kayo habang naliligo, ang sarap-sarap kasi may reverberation sa loob ng CR kasi gumagalaw yung tunog sa tiles. So may nakikreate na reverb para feel mo ang ganda ng boss mo, di ba? So what if sinabi ko, mga kababayan, tapos may reverb. Ano yung binibigay niyang kahulugan? Nakakalaki ba yun? Nakaka-empower ba yun dun sa nagsalita? Or ano yung sinasabi niya about the space? Sinasabi ba na walang tao doon? Does it give parang a sense of loneliness? Let's go to action. So what do I mean by action? Na kailangan din siguro kino-consider ng designer. Action sounds. Let's just say na performer-made actions or object-made actions na nag-create ng tunog. Minsan, annoying, minsan unwanted, kaya kailangang napapansin siya ng sound designer. Kasi baka wala namang halaga yung sound na yon. Nakakasira pa siya sa experience ng audience. O pwede rin nakakatulong. Okay? So what are these? Halimbawa, simple stomping of feet on the floor. Pwede siyang makatulong sa gustong sabihin ng actor or slamming of a heavy book on the table. Halimbawa, meron akong gustong sabihin, line, pero para putulin mo yung line na yon, papasok yung actor para ibalibag yung libro. Boog! Then suddenly, matitigil yung line, mapuputol. I understand, walang instrumentong involved dito, pero it's like a musical phrase na, ping! So, may phrase siya. Pero ang accent natin is yung balibag ng libro. Iba ang binaba mo lang ang libro sa table ng dahan-dahan at walang na-create na tunog sa binalibag mo ang libro. Suddenly, may galit doon. Suddenly, may power, may ini-impose. Hindi siya sound effect, pero it's an action.
Focus ang tignan? Bakit? Basta! Hihingi lang ako sa harap. Yun lang. Dali lang pala eh.
Halimbawa, itong bicycle niya, interesting kung squeaking siya. Actually, may squeak na siya. Yung may maliit na bike, may malaking lalaki, tapos merong maingay na bike. Hindi ko. At nagsasabi rin kung luma yung bike kapag squeaky. Or siguro hirap na hirap yung bike kasi may malaki siyang lalaking nakaupo. Gusto ba nating ipasqueak yung bike? Ano ang mga pwede nating ilagay dyan? Or as simple as, etong umexit yung silang lahat, they were stomping their feet. Nakatulong ba yun sa ano? Pwedeng maging annoying yun kapag may dialogue tapos may maingay. Unless intentional. So, pero ito, exit to eh. Tingnan nyo ha. Ang tingin ko pa nga dito, tak, 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 enter the next actor, sasaluhin niya ng boses niya. Da, 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 tak, 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 da, 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 da. So, suddenly, may transition kang nabuo because tuloy-tuloy yung sound niya. At sinalo lang nung next scene. Parang gano'n. Let's focus on sound. So, what's so special about sound and why is it utilized in theater? I'm gonna play a sound. That's a sound of a car. But is it a big car? Is it a small car? Sounds like a small car, no? Yung sound na yun, binabaan ko yung pitch ng konti. Suddenly, nag-iba din yung size ng sasakyan. Binabaan pa natin. Yung pitch na yan, binabaan pa natin. Suddenly, para na siyang truck. This simple sound na minamanipulate mo, nagbabago yung picture. Nagbabago yung vehicle. Nagbabago yung size ng vehicle. How about this? Binabaan ko pa. At hinabaan. Again, that came from this. From the car, ngayon may ship horn ka na. So, you can see na one sound, ang dami niyang laman, ang dami niyang pwedeng sabihin. What if it's a cacophony of sounds, patong-patong layers, halimbawa, or may bagong kahulugan, may bagong picture. In fact, nagsimula siya sa tunog ng ship horn, pero natapos siya as a drone. Somehow, nawala yung ship na tunog, pero galing yun doon. At naging musical element siya kasi merong drone sa ilalim. I feel na parang from being literal, tumatawid ka sa may gusto ka nang hugutin from your audience na emosyon. Isa pa. Nag-end siya na may reverb sa huli. So, para siyang memory na lang bigla. Imagine the different pictures na pwede nating i-paint with our imagination by just listening to these sounds. Gusto ko lang i-share na how one sound can be a vessel of meaning by changing pitch, changing the volume, stretching the sound, etc. And how sound can trigger emotions. What more if it's a cacophony of sounds nga? Imagine the story it can create. The emotions na kaya niyang ibigay. There is so much meaning, history, culture, data in a simple sound. Paano pa kapag may actors? Yung tunog ay sama ng actors na nagbibigay ng buhay sa text, na naka-costume, na may props, may set, may ilaw. Imagine the possibilities. All the possibilities in storytelling using sound. Kasama lahat ng elements ng theater. I hope this presentation encourages everyone to listen or to be aware of the sounds in theater. But not just in theater. Also, by listening to the presence of sound in our everyday life. Remember, you can always close your eyes, but you can never close your ears. Happy listening. Salamat.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Re. So, maraming salamat sa iyong pagbabahagi. So, sobrang nagustuhan ko yung pagpo-point out niyo po na sa everyday life natin, unconscious kaming nakakapag-sound design. At natutunan ko rin talaga na kapag na-design ka, hindi lang isang sense yung pwede mong matouch. So, kahit yung 5 senses, kayang-kaya mong matouch. So, maraming salamat po. So, ito na po ang ating next speaker. Hindi ko na po papatagalin pa. He has sound designed or engineered and composed or directed music for productions of the Cultural Center of the Philippines, Tanghalang Pilipino, Ballet Philippines, Repertory Philippines, PETA, Dulaang UP, Philippine High School for the Arts, De La Salle College of St. Benilde, and Black Box Production. He is a 4-time Outstanding Sound Design winner at the Gawad Buhay PhilStage Award for the Performing Arts for Encantada, Ballet Philippines in 2011, Stage Show Tanghalang Pilipino in 2012, Der Kaufman, Tanghalang Pilipino in 2013, Mabining Mandirigma, Tanghalang Pilipino in 2016. He also won Outstanding Musical Direction at the 2020 Gawad Buhay Awards for Lamang, Tanghalang Pilipino. He is currently teaching at Meridian International College, Theater Arts Department, and at Central Scholar University, Conservatory of Music. He is forever grateful to his mentor, Mr. Jed Balsamo for music, and Mr. Jetro Joaquin for sound design. Let's give a warm welcome to Mr. TJ Ramos.
Hi guys! Ayun. I will just share my presentation. Thank you, Tere, for being the first. Thank you everyone for coming to this particular talk sponsored by the Virgin Lab Fest or Theater Talk Sound for Theater. I am TJ Ramos. I am a musical arranger, but above all, I am a sound designer. I'm going to talk about how to design sound for theater. I'm going to give you a bit of my process on how to create sound in a particular production. First, define what sound design is. It is the process of identifying, acquiring, generating, and manipulating audio elements to fit a specific auditory requirement in a given medium. So these are 4 processes. You identify, you acquire, /generate, then you manipulate different audio elements or different sound elements. Hindi lang siya music cue, hindi lang siya sound cue. Dito din papasok yung equipment ninyo, microphone, speakers, laptop, how will you play your cues? Do you have microphones? Is it a musical, a live band? Ano yung kailangan? Sound-wise, what equipment, what particular elements do you need to be able to fit a specific auditory requirement in a given medium? Now, before we start into the nitty-gritty of sound design, we need to know first what is sound sense. Now, sound sense is the ability to hear or imagine. It can go both ways. It is the ability to hear different sounds given a specific image or vice versa. You hear a particular sound, then you think of an image. Think of it as your own personal sound library. Every time na may naririnig kayong bago, pumapasok kayo sa memory ninyo. Your sound senses is formed based on your personal history or your personal experience. So from your own personal sound library, based on how you heard things, you now try to create different imageries by means of sound. So anyone can be a sound designer, just as long as you're able to hear things and you are able to imagine things. We now go into sound narratives. We start with narrative. So a narrative is a story. Okay, a narrative is spoken or written account of connected events. So may kwento. So when you put sound into that particular word and you create a sound narrative, it tells a story through sound. It can be through narration, interviews. Okay, you can actually create narratives through sound recordings. For example, lalabas ka lang sa bahay ninyo, magre-record ka, lahat ng mapipick up yung tunog, may kwento. And then you have environmental soundscapes, sound effects. And the next level to it, actually, when it comes to sound narratives, you add music. First picture, itong lalaki naka-headphones. Just try to mention some SFX that you're hearing by just looking at the first picture. Train. Okay, songs that give good vibes. Next picture, EDSA Guadalupe. Engine of the cars. River sound. Kasi you know that Guadalupe is, there's a river underneath that particular bridge. Mga music or sounds ng ads. A train. By just looking at a particular image, alam mo na kaagad yung mga soundscapes na naririnig mo. Again, it is based on what you know about these particular images. Last, water flowing, birds, wind, insects. These particular sound senses, you put them together, you now create narratives by using sound elements to create oral experiences of the plot of the story, the character, and the setting. These are just sound senses based on your setting. So, automatic ka agad, ito na yung mga naririnig mo. You are actually setting up your venue or the setting of the play. That's just the first level. Second level, how do you now represent characters and the story via the sound? Here is just an example of my sound design process. This is a picture of Tanghalang Pilipinos, pangarap sa isang gabi ng gitnang tang-araw. It's William Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. First, I attend readings because when I hear the actors speaking the lines the first time, wala pang intonations, wala pang context, wala pang anything at all. Basta babasahin lang nila as if they're just reading a book. And then when I listen to the voice of the actors saying their lines as that particular character, tumatakbo na yung isip ko. You list down sound senses na. What do I hear? So as a sound designer, as you hear the actor say the lines, you ask yourself, what do I hear? When the stage manager says the directions sa script, that also helps. Nasa isang liblib na lugar sa may Manila. Now, if I don't know that particular place, siguro I'll searching YouTube or I'll go to that place specifically for research. Now, aside from what I am hearing as a sound designer, I am also trying to hear what the director, the actors, and fellow designers are hearing. Ano ba naririnig nila? This is not just my process. This is a collaborative process. Research. You research on the setting. For example, magical place, magic. May mga fairy. So, research on the atmosphere. Research on the genre. Ano yung concept ng production? Merong bang symbolism behind that particular concept? Bakit ganun yung concept ng play? So much so, why did the playwright write the play? All of these questions are important when you are trying to design. Not just sound, even lights, costumes, set. Research is important. When you hear something based on your sound senses, you are able to paint a picture of your setting. So what is the aesthetic of the production? Ito, for example, very whimsical yung approach. A Midsummer Night's Dream. This particular aesthetic, the director decided to really push for what is on the script. He followed what Shakespeare really intended. Based on the sound senses that you have, does your sound senses differ realism or do you hear it talaga? For example, when I call somebody else, the phone will ring. So, narinig mo talaga siya. Or, does it represent a certain theatrical element? Or, is it a symbolism? Or is it non-diegetic? Meaning, it's not really realistically naririnig. So, when you say diegetic, it is something na naririnig mo talaga. For example, this is diegetic. When somebody comes in and then closes the door, that's diegetic. Now, non-diegetic, on the other hand, are non-realistic sounds like narration. Naglalakad ka, wala naman nagnanarrate. Naglalakad ka along the street, biglang may background music out of nowhere. So these are non-diegetic sound senses. So now, I now go into the first level, which is the setting. It sets the when and the where of the production. For example, this particular production of Peta's Night Mother, it is set in a suburban household. So kung mapapansin nyo, very realistic yung set. Lahat ng mga bagay dyan on stage, gumagana. The lights are functional. The ref is functional. Talagang lumalamig yan. So in terms of sound, how do I try to push the realness? Kung yung set design ko very realistic, then my sound should also be realistic. This particular production, because it is a suburban household, I recorded a 2-hour soundscape outside our house. And because it is Night Mother, and the play said it is around 6 to 8 o'clock, then I recorded from 6 to 8 o'clock in the evening. What's the period? 1980s? 1898? World War II? Then context. Is there a social context behind that play? A historical, political, or cultural context behind your setting? The other thing is your mood. Your soundscape can actually contribute to the mood and the atmosphere of your production. So sound is very significant in creating the mood of your play. Now, not just the venue, mood music, for example, one particular character is very, very distraught, very, very hurt because of what happened siguro sa character niya, then you will actually try to represent that particular feeling. For example, how will you represent the goal or the motivation of one particular character? So the mood can be achieved by trying to alter the natural sound of people. You add reverb, you add delay. For example, in this particular picture, it is nang dalawin na paghibig si Juan Tamad. The environment is Laguna. So, the mountains, Makiling, Banahaw, and Laguna Libay were humanized. So, ito si Banahaw, yung lalaki sa left. Si Makiling yung nasa gitna. Si Laguna Libay yung nasa right. Yung taong bayan nasa baba. Tapos, ito nasa pinaka far right, she's a cloud. Ulap siya. So, how did I represent the godliness of the four characters? May lapel sila and I added reverb and delay so that pag nagsalita yung taong bayan is normal. So now, from there, you now determine sound requirements. Nalista mo na lahat ng mga sounds mo. Lahat ng sound senses mo. You talk to the director, you talk to your actors, you talk to your co-designers. So, with that said, based on a particular concept, a particular idea, you now build your cues based on the text. Then you also have sound equipment. What do I need? Do I need mics? Do I need a laptop to play my cue? Do I need speakers para at least marinig ng audience? If I have multiple microphones, do I need a mixer? Dito na papasok yung technical aspect ng sound. So you have your creative aspect wherein you come up with music, you compose music, even download music, you record cues. Then, how will you now execute or how will you now play these particular cues sa space? You now then play with your theatrical space. Obviously, you have your house speakers and you have your location speakers. Meaning, there's a speaker within the acting space. Ako, mahilig akong gumamit ng Bluetooth speakers. For example, there's a scene na tatawag sa kanya yung tao. So, may cellphone ring. But instead of playing it sa house speakers, I have a Bluetooth speaker inside the bag so that the ringtone will play inside the bag, which makes it more realistic. It makes it more believable. Just like in any theatrical production, you adjust and revise if necessary. And more importantly, you enjoy your process. You enjoy your work. We move on to some of my works. So here is isang araw sa Carnival. Virgin Love Fest 5. Ang setting nito nasa Carnival sila. So kapag nasa Carnival kayo, ano usually naririnig nyo? Let's see kung pare-pareho tayo ng maririnig. Music, roller coaster, sigawan, mechanical sounds. Sige, pakinggan natin. Ayan. So, sabi nga ni Teresa, it's a cacophony of sound. So, one layer is crowd, mga bata. One layer is music, kasi may background music yung carnival. Okay? And then you can actually hear the mechanical sounds of the rides. Okay? Next. Here is an example of how I represented something not real. So this is Katsuri, adaptation of Mice and Ben by John Steinbeck. It was adapted by Miss Libet Ortesa, directed by Carlos Reina. So this particular case, these two characters were talking about their pangarap. Because it's all about, these are sakadas in Negros. And they're talking about having a land of their own, may sarili tayong lupa. Notice the pangarap music. So every time these two characters talk about pangarap, this particular music plays. What do you notice about the quality of the music? High pitch. Mataas yung level of volume. Far away. Next. This is mula sa kalimliman. So, as you notice, there's shadow play. So, as a sound designer, visually, I need to represent what is being shown here. So, itong shadow play na to is going on. The character is narrating the story. And then, the music is actually complementing both the shadow play and the monologue of the actor because kinikwento niya kung ano nangyari. It's like a narration. Next. Ang bahay sa gitna ng kawalan, it's a horror play, but I just want to share the opening theme. I wanted to represent something symbolic into something diegetic. Diegetic means kung ano yung narinig. Mapapansin nyo guys, may radyo sa gitna. Ito yung gusto ng playwright na nagpe-play sa kanyang opening. So, how do I transition from something like this into something diegetic? So, ang mangyayari, what happened is, from the house speakers, biglang magiging papalo siya ngayon sa radyo. Then bigla siyang papatayin ng actor. And then lastly, this is Mabining Mandirigma. It's a life story about Polinario Mabini. It's a historical musical production. Sir Chris Miliado, the director, wanted to make it more interesting. Wanted to make it more, not boring. He thought of steampunk. Very turn of the century. Very metal. Very rust. Gears. When you say steampunk, steam. And because this is a musical, how can I design the music based on that particular genre? Based on that particular treatment? So again, based on the set, there are gears, so there are mechanical SFX, steam, okay, metal, rust. Okay, so here is a draft of the piano, a piano draft of the overture or the opening music. Now, based on the different soundscapes that I mentioned to represent steampunk, you heard the piano, okay? As in talagang diniretso piano lang niya. Sinend sa akin, how do I make it like this? Notice the metronome, it's like a clock. Clock. Tick, 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 tick. It becomes faster. Tick, 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 tick. Steam. There's steam. There's a train. Now, to sum it up, as you start conceptualizing your sound design in particular, like Teresa said earlier, and basta nakakarinig kayo, you can design sound. Everyone can hear, so everyone can design for sound. So, in knowing that, you just have to ask yourself questions. Ano yung time and location ng play? Ano yung atmosphere or yung mood? Pwede bang pareho? Ano yung mga style na pwede mo magawa? Then go back to your sound senses. As simple as kung ano yung naririnig mo. Ask yourself, what do you hear? Then from those sound senses, create your ideas, create concepts. Talk to your director, talk to your actors, talk to your co-designers. For example, nakita ko yung set, may gear, may clockwork. How do I represent that particular clock into sound? Metronome, musical, metronome. So, tak, tak, clock. So, constant collaboration with your team. Director, co-designers, even actors, even prod team. They might have something to share in terms of anong speakers na pwede kong magamit. So from there, how can you adjust or how can you use it to your advantage? And always assume that any cue you have in your production has to have a reason. Hindi pa pwedeng, ay maganda kasi pakinggan. If that is your reason, then the design is bababaw. Each and every cue that you put has to have a reason in relation to the text. Kaya maglalagay ako ng music. Bakit may music to? Kasi this particular music represents the heartache of the actor or galit siya rito eh. This particular music represents the anger of the actor. Or nag-aaway sila ng dalawa. Kaya meron akong parang confrontation music. So that music represents that particular confrontation of the two actors or the two characters. Because kapag ikaw naman ang audience, you will assume that kapag may narinig ka, it is important to the play. It is important to the production that you are watching. And with that, thank you guys!
Thank you, Sir TJ. So, nakakilabot yung mga pinarinig niyo sa amin kanina. Namimiss ko na talaga yung theater. At gusto ko lang rin talagang i-highlight yung sinabi ni Sir TJ na sobrang importante ng pakikipag-collab sa theater. So, hindi nga lang sa ating mga director, pati din sa mga ating actors and prod team. Dahil mahalaga na makilala mo talaga yung production mo, yung character, kung ano nga yung culture niya, kung ano yung nafe-feel niya para makapagbigay tayo ng accurate sound or music for the scene. So, maraming salamat po ulit, Sir TJ. At gusto ko rin pa palang i-point out, thank you for introducing the personal library dahil parang feeling ko na valid lahat ng sounds, ng feelings namin ngayon. So yun talaga na-feel ko. Maraming salamat po. So ready na po ba kayo sa ating last speaker? Ito na, hindi ko na papatagalin. He has been involved in theater sound design work for more than 20 years, collaborating with leading theater companies of Metro Manila that include Repertory Philippines, Tanghalang Pilipino, PETA, Ballet Philippines, and Dolaang UP. He is a 3-time PhilStage Gawad Buhay awardee for his outstanding sound design work in Hamlet, Equus, and Agnes of God. all produced by Repertory Philippines. A lecturer of the Department of Speech Communication and Theater Arts in UP Diliman handling theater sound design classes. He has written a number of research publications and essays for the CCP Encyclopedia of Philippine Art and UPCIS, a professional member of the OISTAT Sound Working Group, Sound Technology Institute of the Philippines, and the Audio Engineering Society, respectively. He has conducted sound seminars on theater sound locally and internationally. Everyone, Mr. Jetro Joaquin.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm really very happy and glad that merong ganitong platform. How I wish that there were platforms like this when I was a student where we can share insights on sound. So I will talk about process that was done in one of the productions that I was a part of. This was the sound design process in Front Row Entertainment's production of David Henry Wong's M. Butterfly. If we look at it in a larger context, I think I'd like to pose this question to ourselves. How do we actually perceive sound in our performances as Filipinos? For different people, sound means a lot of things. For example, for directors, they actually would mean music and sound effects that is heard and produced in a drama. For actors, sound can be perceived as words uttered or even sound effects produced while in action. So stamping of the feet or even yung mga bird calls and all that. For composers and musical directors, perhaps sound can be classified as music elements, underscore music. And then for playwrights, it can be the words that they write in their scripts. And sound can also be perceived as sounds perceived in memory. And then for audiences, it is what is usually audible, what is heard. And one thing that is very interesting, yung mga discuss kanina ni Teresa na something that is heard, even TJ talks about hearing, the sense of hearing, is really particular when it comes to sound. How about silence? How about things that we don't hear? Actually, silence is also part of sound. Because like, for example, for dancers, sound can actually be rhythmic patterns, heard and actually felt, not just externally, but felt internally. May mga nakita kong dance performances, walang music. The sound is actually coming from within the dancers. These are very interesting modes of or ways of seeing sound. And then there are sound technical people, sound crew, and people like us, the sound designers, sound engineers who work in the theater. We associate sound to what we call amplification. When we say amplified sound, we're talking of how we make sound louder, how do we amplify them in creative ways in order to bring out the story or to enhance the story, to convey the message that the directors, actors, playwrights want to share. Maraming ibig sabihin ng tunog. So, sa sarili natin, kailangan isipin natin, ano ba yung tunog para sa atin? In my years and in my experience, siguro, when we talk of theater sound design, kinakailangan natin himayin, tingnan natin how it actually means culturally dito sa atin. And then one of the things that I discovered when I was pondering on and I was reflecting on what sound actually is, I looked into the dictionary, UP Filipino Dictionary, and it's very interesting that the way the dictionary defines sound or tunog, it's anything that is heard or vibrations in the air that triggers a sense of hearing. And then it also is related to what is known as noise or ingay. The third definition, it is use of the organs of speech to utter something. Very interesting itong mga definition na binigay ng UP Dictionary about sound because we now begin to see collectively, in a cultural sense, how Filipinos actually look at sound. So it's something that is heard. So it's really centered on a person hearing. Ito yung strength, I suppose, that we see when it comes to sound. Basta pag sinabing tunog, kailangan ito yung naririnig ng tao or nakasentro ang tunog sa tao. Hindi nawawala ang tao. Kaya nga, when we describe tunog, tunog lata, tunog kulob, tunog ngongo, so parang associated to the sense of hearing. If we compare this with that of the Western perception of sound, merong philosophical question that is always posed to theater sound designers in conferences that I've attended. And it is one that was given by George Berkeley. He said that if a tree fell in the forest and no one was there to hear it, did it actually make a sound? Dito ngayon nakikita natin yung challenge when it comes to theater sound, the issues and the challenges that come up when we talk of sound in Philippine theater. Theater sound design actually developed just very recently, back in the early 90s. Ano ba yung rason bakit siya na-develop, lalo na sa teatro? I'd like to argue that similar siya sa US, it actually came out as a capitalist response. It's a response na we wanted to attract audiences to come to the theater. In Broadway, sound design came in the 70s and 60s. Yung term na sound designer, historically, yung pinaka most popular or the one who was termed sound designer was Abe Jacob in Broadway, who was the sound designer of Jesus Christ Superstar. And at that time, prior to this period of Jesus Christ Superstar, where rock musical siya, people were already getting bored of Broadway productions back then. Parang masyado siyang classical musicals. Hindi siya amplified. Or kung may amplification man, parang there were a lot of problems sonically. Broadway producers wanted to bring in more audiences and wanted more power, audio power, in terms of sound. They wanted to attract audiences. And so came in Abe Jacob, and dun binil siya na sound design. And what happened in this production? Nagkaroon siya ng amplification. Wala pang mga lapel mics noon at that time. Gumagamit sila ng mga SM57, SM58s. These are dynamic microphones that are handheld. Actors had to bring out their voices over etong mga loud amplified rock instruments. Hindi pwede ang hindi siya talagang nakamic. It's impossible for them to be heard. And then, so, audiences became very interested and people started coming in. So, dito sa atin, eventually, similar ang proseso ng pag-usbong ng sound design when we began incorporating sound systems, when we began to introduce amplification in our productions para marinig, so as to attract audiences. And it's so true today that people want to go to the theater to relax, to enjoy. But in terms of sound, they want to hear something makabagbag damdamin. And as audiences, we have to accept the fact that we are bombarded with these present technologies that's out there. Dolby Atmos in films, 5.1 surround. The theater is positioned in how do we supplement, how do we respond to that need of audiences wanting better sound. So, kaya dumating ito ngayong sound design. The thing with sound design, it's not just about sound per se, sound production, but it's also about reinforcement, amplification. And so it talks about science, the science and technology that is involved when it comes to sound. And culturally, dito natin ngayon nakikita yung challenge. Kasi tayo, based on our definition, cultural perception of sound, it seems that we are stuck to what we hear. But eventually, we're slowly getting into that understanding that actually sound is not necessarily something that we hear. There's actually sounds that we can actually feel. Maski walang tunog, bakit parang may nararamdaman pa rin tayo? So, maraming mga factors yan. But I guess it boils down to the physical formation of sound, which is actually vibrations, disturbances in a medium. And it is not just about air. We're talking about vibrations in mediums such as solids, liquids, and again, science. We need to keep that in mind, that etong developed technology, we have to match that and we have to bring that in to our understanding of what sound is. So, hindi lang siya naririnig. Kailangan intindihin natin na associated rin siya sa sense of feelings. I remember in one of my movement classes, I remember a director telling me, listen with your bodies. Listen using your bodies. When we talk Philippine theater, we're talking of the whole country from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And the question is, when it comes to amplification, how do we respond to that? How can these performances cope with that kind of capital? Kaya ba yung mga investments na ito? There are a lot of problems when it comes to that, when equipment and technology is involved. And so sometimes, especially dito sa atin, we're beginning to see that there is this elitist and there's this culturally imperialistic nature that's enveloping when it comes to sound. When I say elitist, the controlling sound in the theater is only limited to a few. Ilan lang ba kami mga theater sound designers na nagde-design ng sound sa theater? Ilan lang ba ang mga engineers? And ilan lang ba ang nakakaintindi talaga ng science and technology of sound? And then why is it culturally imperialistic? Because it is a Western idea. Again, our response is similar to that of the US. We're imposing the mga concept of sound cues, concept of underscore, Western foreign systems to eh. Yung local practices natin, sometimes na-marginalize, na nawawala once we incorporate systems like these in our system. So, siguro as a sound practitioner, we have to be very careful when we practice sound in theater. We need to be culturally mindful of the performances that we are involved in. So how do we ease the effects of these challenges when it comes to sound practices? I'd like to post yung sinasabi rin ni Murray Schafer in his book, The Soundscape. He mentions about sound power. Sound power is sufficient to create a large acoustic profile, and we speak of it too as imperialistic. For instance, a man with a loudspeaker is more imperialistic than one without because he can dominate more acoustic space. And that is actually what we want to do. The thing is, Philippine performances are sonically rich. Yung mga salid lumay, yung mga badiw, yung mga kulintang performances, very rich tayo sonically. And we want to amplify that. We want to bring it out there in the open. But there's that danger nga. How do we bring that? Paano na ba natin i-merge? Na hindi nawawala yung ating spirit, ang ating cultural identity. Again, we need to go back to theater sound design. Different people have been defining it. Dina Kay says that sound design is a creative and technical process resulting in the complete oral environment of live theater. For Garrett Fry, it is taking part in telling a story where the sound designer plays a generic role responsible for audible effects. That includes sound effects recording, music production, sound system design, live reinforcement, amplification, vocal reinforcement, room acoustics, creating multiple channel sound effects and soundscapes. Dito sa atin, paano natin siya i-define? I pose that question to you guys. Paano nyo i-define yung sound design? Dito sa atin, sa UP, tinatranslate siya as disenyo ng tunog. No, pag sinabi natin disenyo, coming from the word Spanish, diseño, designare, to mark out, to plan. No, the closest word to this is yung tinatawag nating balak. Ano yung binabalak natin? Ano bang iniisip natin? What needs to be done? Ano yung binabalangkas ng detalyado? Actually, yung proseso ng pagdisenyo ng tunog, hindi siya malayo. It's really part kasi meron tayong salita para doon, balak. So we need to plan. And then when you talk of Philippine theater, again, the performances that we do here in Manila is only just a microsome of Philippine theater. Meron tayong sinakulo, komedya, sarsuela, again, the indigenous. And these performances, the question is, are they ready to take in all this technology in? Kailangan ba nito mga sound designers? As sound practitioners, we need to be inclusive of our different performances abroad. For me, I see it as a collective communal undertaking. Collective kasi based on my experience, and this will be shown in some of the process that I did with M. Butterfly, hindi lang yung ako yung nagdedesisyon dun sa mga bagay-bagay when it comes to sound. Meron din akong mga moments that I collaborate with the director, I collaborate with the actor. So meron kami mga decision undertakings when it comes to the sound formation. So it's all very communal. And then definitely I work with actors and with directors. This is just a working definition, no? Kinakailangan natin tingnan yung ibang mga proseso sa iba't ibang regions natin. And then in our own processes. And then from there, we collect, and then hopefully we will be able to come up what theater sound design is really here in the Philippine context. Because the challenge with this definition that I'm posing, when I say collective and communal, then who actually controls the process? And I'd like to bring in yung sinasabi ni Michael Foucault. When we talk of control in terms of sound, power is everywhere, no? Not because it embraces everything, but because it comes from everywhere. So sometimes I can be in control of the sound decisions. Other times I just have to surrender to the decisions of the director. Other times it's a collaboration. So it's very dynamic. It's very fluid in terms of sound. So the sound process that I saw in M. Butterfly somehow reflects the creative process that Grace Nono introduced dun sa kanyang book, yung The Shared Voice. It's very interesting kasi yung process ko as a sound design, pagkatulad din ako kay TJ, so I read through the script, I identify sound cues, I work on the sound cues, evaluate if it's working or not. Napansin ko parang I wanted to explore deeper on the process, and I realized na yung process na na-introduce namin dun sa sound design process that I practiced in M. Butterfly somehow reflects itong kay Grace Nono, yung sinasabi niyang creative process. And these are not stages. I would rather call these as happenings or circumstances in various periods of the production. So meron tayong tinatawag na convergence or yung pagtatagpo. Ito yung pagtatagpo ng between myself and the producer. How did I become the sound designer in M. Butterfly? It actually started years before the actual production happened. It was when nagtagpo kami, nag-converge kami ni R.S. Francisco, who is the producer, and he recognized my abilities. He recognized my position as a sound creator, and he wanted me in the project. And I also recognize him as a theater artist. So nagkakaroon kami ng relationship involved dito. It was also a convergence between myself and the producer, myself and the actors, and myself with the sound team. And then there's the circumstance or the happening of being present, yung being there. Dito yung pumapasok yung mga first readings, yung mga rehearsal processes na kinakailangan nandun ako. Especially in the first readings, I needed to listen to the actors. I needed to understand how they sound as they bring out the words of the script, of the play. And then there is the life-sharing circumstance, yung pakikibahagi, yung sharing of knowledge, the sharing of expertise, the sharing of equipment. I remember back in the rehearsals and this has been my usual practice, sometimes I would bring my own speaker, or sometimes I would bring my own keyboard and computers. And same thing, people in the production, nandun yung pakikibagbahagi, kung ano yung ma-share mo. There are moments that in the production process, they would ask me, like in the case of Timberton, the lead, he was concerned that when he was going to be mic'd, that in the opening scene, he was going to be naked. How do we mic a naked person without showing the wire? So what we did was the mic was placed in his cheek, and then it went behind his ear. And then at the beginning, the mic line would run in the front. Kasi luckily, from the audience point of view, people will only see his back, his behind. So, hindi nakikita yung front niya. So, we positioned the mic cord in front. And the belt pack of the lapel, we placed it strategically in his thigh, which was covered by a bathrobe. And then, so when he brings it up, my scene change on stage, we would then adjust. And I would have to trust, dito pumapasok ngayon yung kamalayan, pagsukot, pag-agos, that I will just have to trust that, oh my goodness, sana hindi tama yung pag-set nung pag-shift nitong lapel pack, na sana tama yung pag-adjust. No? So may mga ganong mga moments. So the fourth circumstance, yung kamalayan, yung pagbubulay, pagsuko, pag-agos. Akala ko, since it's a Western production or commercial production, wala ito. But actually, nandun eh. Nandun yung hope, nandun yung fluid ka lang. Siyempre, there are decisions that you want it to happen, but just for some reason or not, it doesn't happen. And you just have to surrender. But of course, kailangan pa rin may discussion. What is interesting about these stages is you'll notice that the arrows, so you'll see that from convergence, it goes to being present, it goes to life sharing, it goes to kamalayan, and then it goes back. Cycle siya, no? But it can go backwards, it can move crisscross. So para siyang placemat, those woven textiles. Napakagandang i-explore ito sa process ng sound design. Here are just a few visual images of how we marked the scripts. What is interesting about how we produced this production was that the director, Kanakan Balitagos, actually dun sa play, wala naman naka-indicate dun na opera music from Madame Butterfly, or meron sa radyo. But what the director wanted was he wanted a live opera singer to sing and hover around the stage. Para siyang ghost na enveloping all the actions that's happening on stage. So this brings a lot of sound considerations, challenges. Number one, opera singer. So kailangan mag-hire ng opera singer. Number two, yung score. You have Madame Butterfly, the libretto, and then anong portions of those in that libretto ang ilalagay natin sa mga various scenes, no? So nagkaroon ng pag-uusap. And so during the convergence or yung pagtatagpo, and as I was being present, I mentioned to the producer and to the director that I'm sorry, I'm not a musical major. I don't do music arrangement. You need to hire a music arranger for this, or a musical director who's knowledgeable for these sound cues. So we hired Jed Balsamo, who provided the music arrangement for this. But what was interesting in this process was that the opera singer also played a huge role in providing the sound cues in M. Butterfly, si Rica Nepomuceno, who was the one who actually identified the parts in Madame Butterfly. Bakit siya? Kasi siya yung nakakaintindi ng Italian. So ito yung sinasabi natin, yung life sharing. Medyo na-challenge rin si Rica doon sa proseso na yon, na bakit ako yung gagawa, na hindi naman talaga dapat yun. Pero kasi nga, we're just lucky enough and we're blessed that she was fluent in Italian. She understood the score. So we needed her help. So what was my role as far as these cues were concerned? I was more into coordinating and making sure that we played back the -1, we played back the arrangement, ano yung playback devices that we used for this production. So because we were also going to go into, there was also already a plan that we were going to go on tour. So we managed all the recorded cues. We patched them in. We used the computer and we used QLab to execute the sound cues. And then technically, we also needed to provide yung mga sound team ng idea of where to place yung mga loudspeakers. So in collaboration with the technical director and the set designer, I asked and requested a front elevation and a top elevation of the stage. And dito in-indicate namin kung saan nakalagay yung mga speakers, especially for Rika. I also provided a sound diagram for my sound team. And I indicated it to them that this is what the production required. Particularly, there was a particular cue, the Peking opera sound needed to travel around the space. So we needed to patch in and group certain speakers in the space to the regions. We had the privilege to tour the production to different parts of the country, particularly in the Visayas, Iloilo, in Dumaguete, and Cebu. And so this was the more or less the design layout, the diagram that I provided the local sound suppliers in those regions. Interestingly, when I went into those regions, we would discuss, and again, proseso namin, kinakailangan nandun yung pagtatagpo, kinakailangan magkita kami at be on the same foot. We need to communicate with them properly. I think from there, we can then eliminate or cancel yung pagiging high-end or pagka-foreign ng proseso ng sound design. Na-realize ko yung mga break times namin, yung bonding is actually part of the process. During the break, sasabihin, padagdag naman ng speaker. Minsan may mga gano'n kami, mga usapan, or minsan, sige sir, ako na bahala. Bigla may mga gano'n, di ba? Or, uy, basag naman yung tunog ng speakers nyo, palitan naman natin. Gano'n. So, yun, yung mga informal na mga usapan na mga ganyan, I realized, looking through the creative process of Grace Nono, it seems gano'n ang nangyayari. There has to be some relationship involved. And then lastly, again, it's also emergence, convergence, or the production also gave me the opportunity to do some audio measurements in the space. I needed to understand, especially when it came to the regions, surround sound was not the priority. Number one, the budget and limitations of equipment. What was very important and what we needed as far as sound was concerned was intelligibility. Kinakailangan maintindihan ng audience yung tao. We're going for clarity, for intelligibility in music, in dialogue, in sound effects. And so I needed to understand the space. This is where theater acoustics come in. Kasi nga napaka-importante yung acoustics, theater acoustics, lalo na dito sa atin, and how it affects theater performance. How, as theater sound practitioners, we need to understand and we need to collaborate with the spaces. In different spaces in the venues, iba-iba yung maririnig ng tao. To summarize my presentation, I mentioned that theater sound design may be viewed as, whether we like it or not, it's a capitalist response because we needed to respond to Filipinos' audience's demand for better sound and the rapid proliferation of audio technology. It's very difficult to dissociate foreign practices and processes dun sa theater sound design, but we can merge it with our own processes. We need to understand and we need to study the various sound processes involved across the regions to really come up with our understanding of what theater sound design is in Philippine theater. And lastly, theater sound design in Philippines be described, at least for me, as a collective and communal endeavor. And we need to practice. We need to be mindful of the existing traditional cultural human processes. When we say mindful, like I said nga, hindi natin dapat i-impose na dapat itong mga microphones ang gagamitin. Dapat ear monitors ang gagamitin dito. We need to double check. We need to assess what the production can provide. So with that, thank you so much for listening. And thank you so much for this platform, the Cultural Center of the Philippines, VLF. Maraming salamat po. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Jet. Thank you for giving us new ideas about sound designing. At yung pag-bring up niyo po ng science and technology, even the mathematics as part of sound designs. I hope magkaroon tayo ng another session about dito. Ang lawak niya. Gusto ko rin yung sabi niyo, sir, na being mindful. Parang gusto ko na rin i-connect yung environmental and cultural change. Parang connected din siya dito. Sana magkaroon tayo next session, Ma'am Tess. Ayan. Thank you to our amazing speakers. So, ito na po, bukas na ang ating tindahan. So, meron lang akong question sa ating sound designer. So, nauna na ako, no? Meron po ba kayong naging memorable na problem sa process nyo in sound design? So, ako based lang on experience ko. So, I think alam rin po nila Sir Jet or nila Mr. Red na nag-sound design rin ako before. Pero may time na kinailangan ko mag-stop kasi napapanaginipan ko yung mga sounds. So, parang isa siya sa naging memorable problem ko sa naging proseso ko. So, meron ba kayong mga weird experience na ganon? Sige, Sir Jet?
Unforgettable experiences? Actually, marami. I can't pinpoint one. When I was a student, I was really caught with that idea. Actually, si Sir Anton yun eh. Sir Anton 1. That was a stage movement class when he told us, listen using with your bodies. Parang, paano yun? How do you do that? So, dun, it took me years to fully understand. So I was, paano yun? It was a very foreign concept to me. Nagka-nightmare ako actually. Sinabi, listen with your bodies. Tapos we were going to do a stage movement, ganyan. So, yun, eventually I've understood that it actually meant, yun na nga, that the concept of hearing, and the concept of creating a story, it really comes from memory. From your, sinabi ka ni TJ, personal experiences. Currently, ano ba yung mga challenges na actually, yun na nga, yung sa amplification, yung mga comes to reinforcement, I realized that it's so difficult to balance the audio requirements needs, yung mga audio needs, technical needs with production. Yeah. People are asking for certain things that budget-wise mahirap siyang i-provide. Or walang, or we don't have that experience. So yun.
Thank you, Sir Jet. So feeling ko na valid yung experience ko dati.
Yung akin naman involves Sir Jethro.
Ano?
Involves Sir Jethro dun sa aking awakening kasi he actually allowed me to design Joyla Club of Repertory Philippines.
I remember. Oh my God, I remember.
So it was also Anton 1. Sir Anton 1 was the director also. And then, again, I wasn't really into theater yet because I was, parang bago pa lang ako na-graduate ng Binil that time. I was actually very thankful for the opportunity, but I'm actually very scared na, okay, sige, let's do this. And then, as I go along, para lagi na nilang binabaril yung mga cues ko. And then, I really didn't understand why. As in, hindi ko alam kung bakit. Sa palagay ko kasi, maganda naman, maayos naman, pasok naman doon sa eksena, pero bakit binabaril? It came to a point na tinawag na si Sir Jet, ni Sir Anton, and I'm getting fired. I'm getting fired. But anong nangyari? Hindi, tinuloy pa rin nila, and Sir Jethro was there. And just imagine, Sir Anton, barking order, Sir Jethro, barking order sa kabila, blah, 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 blah. And I think talagang cacophony of sound from people as I do my cues. So right after that, I think talaga nag-breakdown talaga ako. I broke down. Parang that was my I'm not a sound designer moment. And then, buti na lang, Sir Jethro kinda calmed me down. And then, he mentioned something na talaga hanggang ngayon tumatak sa akin na kinuha niya yung wallet niya. Nakikita mo tong wallet na to? Oh, kung tunog to, anong tunog niya? Okay. And the sound is actually representation. Doon ko na-realize na hindi kailangan maganda, kailangan it has to mean something. Na, for example, yung mga characters, yung mga bells, yung mga gongs, what does this particular bell or sound signify? So, hindi lang siya dahil maganda sa paningin ko. Ano na siya? Maganda siya for the production. You have to really dig deep into why that particular cue is there. So, because of that particular incident, doon ko talaga na-realize na, okay, may pag-asa ako.
Part po ang frustration sa sound design.
Can I just add something? Tama yung si TJ. Thanks for sharing that, TJ. The realization of sound in theater. Remember that, kasi iba siya sa music. Iba siya sa, when we talk of music as an art, it's different when you talk of music in theater. It's part of a larger whole. So there are times na babarilin ka talaga, compose ka ng compose, you may be a composer who loves to do theater, and then you need to already understand that one way or the other, your composition, baka you compose this 3-minute, really nice arrangement, and suddenly only 5 seconds or 10 seconds lang ang gagamitin doon. And then you'll feel hurt. Hindi dapat, kailangan malakas ang loob mo na eto lang yung gagamitin, yung ganun. Or tatanggalin nila, we're not going to use that. Pangit, palitan mo. Actually, it's hard for a composer. Directors need to understand as well na mahirap mag-compose. But then, again, at the end of the day, it's the production that's the final say. Kailangan, it really has to match the production. Sound doesn't exist in a vacuum. So it has to really mean something in the theater.
Thank you, Sir Jetro. So punta na po tayo sa questions ng ating mga audience. So nandito po si Elric Alcontado from Tanghalang Filipino Actors Company. Ano pong may papayo nyo sa mga tao, especially sa mga estudyante na nagdanais tatahakin ang sound design as career path?
Definitely listen to your environment. Be a curious listener, sabi nga ni Teresa. We start with that. If you're an actor or it's really pays to be part of a performance and to be involved in that performance. And then if there are opportunities for you to be involved in the sound creation, then go for it, no? As far as formal studies are concerned, there are various workshops around. Kasi like you said, sound design, it's not just about music, it's not just about sound effects. There's also this reinforcement involved. If you want to go into that field, medyo mahaba-habang pag-aaral yan. Kailangan mag-attend talaga ng mga technical workshops on sound. I believe CCP does produce that once every now and then, periodically. There's also the YAVL that I'm also a part of. I also teach sound technology and sound reinforcement in that training center. So you can search on that. Schools also provide that. Benilde, TJ, kayo ba? I think mga workshops.
Yeah.
This VLF thank you so much again for VLF for this, because this is a starting point. So grab all the opportunities you can to enhance the sound. But definitely the practice. So if you're involved in theater, magandang tahaking na go into that exploration.
You need to know muna where you are right now. Mahirap kasi na gusto ko maging ganito, gusto ko maging ganyan, pero hindi mo pa siya nasisimulan. Hindi ka pa nagsisimula. You have to think of where you are right now, kung ano yung kakayahan ko ngayon. Kasi again, sabi nga ni Sir Jetro, ang dami mo pwede puntahan eh. If you're really going to look at it, you can go to music composition, you can go to sound reinforcement, you can go into sound recordists, wherein a sound designer has to have at least knowledge in some of these elements, because the sound designer is actually going to use this particular knowledge to be able to create a particular narrative, sound narrative, maybe in theater, in movies, in film, in radio, and whatnot. So, alamin nyo muna kung nasan kayo right now, and then alamin nyo kung anong muna gusto nyong daan papunta doon sa kung ano yung goal ninyo. Ano ba yung strengths ninyo? Saan ba kayo magaling? Maano ba kayo sa music? Kumakanta ba kayo? Can you play the piano? Gitarista ba kayo? Or curious lang ba talaga kayo sa iba't ibang klaseng quality ng tunog? That's also another area. So, start from there.
Mr. M, meron ka po bang gustong idagdag?
I guess tama is Sir Jethro na you have to like sound, to like listening, or maybe just to appreciate sound and things that you can hear and not hear. If you have a fascination with sound, that would be great. You can listen to lectures like this. Ako, ang dami ko natututunan. Or enroll sa mga eskwelahan na nagtuturo ng design, sound, music, etc. But I also would like to encourage you to, how about not study sound from us? Karamihan ng natutunan ko sa paggawa ng tunog sa teatro ay nakuha ko sa pagtatrabaho sa pelikula. Halimbawa, actually, parang mentor ko sa pag-intindi ng sound ay ay mga aktor, mga kaibigan, mga katambay, mga kainuman, and how dito sa kanila ko natutunan yung, ganun pala yung pag sinabing subtext. May ganito palang tinatawag na unit sa acting. And because maybe I have this fascination with sound at hindi ako aktor, doon ko natatranslate yung mga naiintindihan ko. Salamat sa mga natutunan ko sa mga kaibigan, sa mga rehearsals, sa mga direktor. Dahil doon, nagkaroon ka na ng fascination. So, you start enrolling sa mga workshops. I remember enrolling din kay Sir Jethro, getting ideas and learnings from other art forms talaga. Architecture, acoustics, alam mo yun. So parang, ano ang tingin ng isang arkitekto sa sound? Hindi siya kapareho ng pagtingin natin, no? Sa ng isang taga-teatro sa tunog. Ano ang tunog para sa isang doktor? Iba din 'yun. Ang exciting matutunan or makita ang tunog sa labas ng teatro. Tapos dagdagan mo na lang ng pag-aaral pa. So saan ano pa kaya yung possibilities nun? So
thank you, Mr. Re. At wag din natin kalimutan nga yung sabi rin ni Sir TJ kanina na mag-enjoy tayo. So, wag natin masyadong stress yung sarili natin. So, mag-enjoy lang tayo.
Ayun. Tayo hindi natin sinustress sarili natin. Mga direktor na nag-stress. Mga direktor po po dito.
Ayan. So, sa lahat po ng mga direktor, wag po natin stress ang ating mga designers. Okay, pumunta po tayo sa ating next question from Judy Di Mayuga. For Sir TJ, what is the software that you prefer in arranging music?
Ako, I'm using Logic Pro right now. I think Mac lang ang Mac. Logic Pro eh. For Windows. Well, when I was still with Sir Jethro, I was using Cubase.
Just to comment on the softwares, no? So there are different softwares, and actually your favorite softwares, it's very relative, Judy. It really depends on what you're comfortable with using. So whatever you use, that's what you use for sound creation. I particularly use Cubase, but I've used Ableton, I've used GarageBand. They're different platforms lang yan. So my goodness, what? Parang importante yung creation. As long as it doesn't bug your creativity, just go for what you use.
Yes. I agree. Software is just software. Kung magagamit, di ba ang dami ng apps ngayon sa App Store, the download mo.
BandLab.
Nakakapag-create ka na ng sound and or music, di ba? So, ang interesting nun, siguro parang wag matali sa technology. But also, I'd like to share, I use Logic. I use QLab. Magkaiba yung purpose ng dalawang yon. I also use Ableton. Bakit ko ito sasabi? Kasi na-realize ko, if you're familiar with Logic and you're familiar with Ableton, may mga in-offer sila na magkaiba na napipilitan yung utak kong magbago ng proseso. Halimbawa sa Logic, no, dahil linear siya, linear din ang ako mag-isip sa pagko-compose. Kung galing ka ng Logic tapos punta ka sa Ableton, sa Ableton hindi siya, pwede siya maging non-linear. Kung pag galing ka sa Logic, parang mahirap siyang gawin kasi nga hindi linear. But at the same time, dahil nga binago mo yung proseso, binago mo yung steps, suddenly may na-offer na bago din sa composition. Nafa-fascinate ako na kahit hindi ko piliting baguhin yung music, pero dahil nga iba yung tinahak kong proseso, may nagbago sa aking output. So, interesting lang yung ganun.
Yes.
Tsaka Judy, mas maganda mag-live.
Yes. Holy sound.
Mas maganda mag-live sound.
True. Maraming salamat po. So, for our next question, ako po si Laura Cabuchan, isang community artist at guro mula sa Ateneo de Manila University. Magandang gabi po. How can directors or collaborators support you in your artistic process? What I mean to say is, what does effective communication or good collaboration between a director or collaborators and a sound designer look like?
Ako, marami. Pero ito, pag sinabing quiet time, dapat igalang yun. What is quiet time? Ito yung ito yung moment ng designer na gagamitin niya yung space para mag-mix, mag-plot ng sounds, ganun.
Levels.
Ibigay nyo naman sa amin yun. Parang, basically, parang papuntang final touches na to ng sound, sa trabaho ng sound designer, no? So, ang nangyari, sige, quiet time daw yung sound designer natin, sige. Pero may nagtatrabaho dito, tapos maingay sila. Sobrang simple lang nito, no? Sobrang practical lang hinihingi namin na, quiet lang. O kaya, may nag-aayos ng set, tapos may ingay din na kinecreate yun. See, simple, kami palalo na sensitive sa tunog. Yung pinakamaliit na tunog, yung feeling nyo, binubulong nyo, rinig na rinig ng kaluluwa namin. Alam mo yun? So, laging nahuhuli yung tunog, madalas. Ito sabi ng maraming collaborators, film, theater, na, mahalaga yung tunog. Ako, as in talagang, binibigyan ko talaga ng halaga ang tunog. Pero, ang dali-daling sabihin nun eh. Parang, paano natin binibigyan ng halaga? Pwede sa oras, pwede sa, yun lang, respeto dun sa time ng quiet time, pwede rin sa budget, mahalaga daw ang sound. Tapos gusto ko yung umiikot yung tunog, etc., etc. Tapos, hindi willing mag-rent ng gamit. Pero ang daming rent for other departments. So, siguro ito na yung sagot ko sa first question kanina, na may sound designer, at may mga tunog talaga na kailangang patugtugan, Tapos, bibigyan ka ng 2 speakers. Wow, parang feeling ko, wow, yes, may stereo ako. Tapos pagdating doon, wala, sira pa yung isa. Matagal na kaming resilient, matagal na kaming gumagawa ng paraan. Yung resilient ng Pilipino na para bang andun lagi sa sige, gagawa ko po ng paraan, sige, gagawa ko ng paraan. So, gagawa ko ng paraan. Lahat na lang ginawa mo ng paraan, hindi na umangat yung craft.
Yes.
Kasi, para bang,
right.
laging na lang may inggit sa, ang ganda ng patunog ng ganito. Sana one day magawa ko rin. Sana kung ano lang, no. Yung mga ganun sa ibang lugar, sa ibang... Pero, at sasabihin ng ba, di ba, sa ganyan, maganda yung tunog. I'm talking about tunog, not exactly creative output. Iba-iba yan eh. So, ang ganda, ba't ang least, ba't sa Pilipinas hindi namin magawa-gawa? Hindi lang siya dahil sa sound designer, pero sa economics at at hindi rin natin masisi mga producers kung hirap sila maglabas kasi yung mga taong pumupunta rin naman sa teatro, di ba, parang hindi mahirap din manghikayat, pero at the same time mahirap din kapag ang daming naibigay sa ganitong department, ang daming ganyan, tapos sabihin mahalaga ang sound pero hindi willing.
I'd like to add on Teresa's note, no, yung sinasabi ni Teresa na actually, daming points na minention ni Teresa, which are all valid actually. And I did experience that a lot of times as well. Let's go first yung sa sound check. Yung concept ng sound check. I think dito sa directors, this is, I guess, a message for directors and producers. Kasi diba meron sa sound check or yung tinatawag nating technical rehearsals prior to the show. Usually binibigyan ng technical time for sets, technical times for lights, for setup. Meron pang setup, may focusing, cueing, may ganon. Yung plotting. Sa sound, meron din ganon. Actually, dapat mag-allocate din ng oras para for sound check, especially if there are a lot of sound cues involved in the production. And when we're talking of sound, we're talking of time. Remember that sound is traveling through time. It needs time. Kailangan talaga ng oras para maipatunog mo yung tunog. And it also needs the space. The space is very important. This is what I suppose producers and the company doesn't understand. That when we talk of sound check, we need to provide the exact sound environment when the sound is being performed on stage. So that means quiet. Dapat nakabukas yung aircon. Kung may aircon yung space, no? Kasi there are times, nagsa-sound check ka nga, magle-level ka ng cues, pero nakasara yung aircon. Pero pag binuksan yung aircon, biglang mamaya ang lakas-lakas pala ng aircon. So ngayon, nag-adjust na ngayon yung mga sound cues. So kailangan ma-establish agad yung sound environment dun sa space. So, of course, that will entail turning on the air conditioning, and that would entail cost. But the production has to understand, if you want good levels for your production, you have to set the environment correctly. Let's go back to the question. How can we support the artistic process? Yes, dialogue is very important. Directors and sound designers are very important. But at the same time, tayo rin mga sound designers, we also need to learn how to communicate with our directors. We can't communicate them in technical terms. We cannot say na, because of frequencies, ganito, ganyan, ganyan. Yung dynamic range, ganito, ganyan, ganyan. Hindi talaga maintindihan yan. Kailangan may certain language na nagbi-meet halfway. But the directors also need to understand that, again, it's a technical standpoint. So, kailangan bukas ang director sa mga technical ideas, technical terms, kailangan maging bukas. Especially kung gusto mong mga surround sound, gusto mong nagta-travel yung mga, definitely that will require budget, that will require additional speakers, and that will entail costs. So again, go back to what do you really need? How do we match that? Sound practitioners are not magicians. We work with science. It's a scientific, technological process. Kailangan we go back to the script, or we go back to the material, check the materials, check out the possibilities, discuss, possible kaya to, possible kaya ito, ganon. Kailangan, at saka meron kang, kung pwede sana meron kang sound concept involved. What do you mean by sound concept? Realistic ba? Katulad sinabi ni TJ, steampunk, ganon, industrial, ganon. So, those are actually good ideas. But however, there are some directors who, sasabihin, just something, kilala niyo na kung sino yan. Something, ganyan. So, may ganon. So, may mga director, okay lang naman yung ganong mga diskusyon. Parang, okay, anong something na yan? Medyo mahirap yun, ha? Pero, nonetheless, sound people have to work with people like that. So, but nonetheless, communication is very important. There has to be some specific language mag-meet tayo halfway.
Maraming salamat po. So, dahil overtime na tayo, yung mga hindi po nasagot na katanungan ay maaari nyo pong ipadala ito sa virginlovefest17@gmail.com. So, short and sweet na lang po, some closing words.
As artists, hindi as sound designer, I want to make art to change the world, ganyan. Parang, wag na ganun. Ano na lang. Parang minsan baka kailangan nating frame na tanungin kung how is my art changing me? Kasi kung gusto mong baguhin yung iba sa sining mo, pero ikaw hindi ka convinced, so paano mo mababago ang iba kung ikaw ay, alam mo yan. So how is my art changing me? Is it making me a better person? Is it not? I don't know. It's tapos lalo na napakahalaga din na sa mga ginagawa nating sining, marami tayong gusto sabihin, marami tayong gusto kwento, marami tayong gusto paglaban, marami tayong advocacy. Reflection lang siya talaga na tumingin sa salamin na madali mag-preach pero kapag sa akin ba, eto nga, galing ako sa point of view ng actors as a sound designer. So parang I feel that as a sound designer, you're trying to support the truth na gustong ilabas ng actor. So, paano mo ilalabas yung katotohanan ng isang naratibo, ng isang pinaglalaban, tapos hindi align yung yung pang-araw-araw mong buhay doon. Parang ang hirap, may disconnect yon. Hindi ko sinasabing huwag ka na lang mag-art. Ang sinasabi ko is, babalik lang ako dun sa tanong, how is our art changing us? At hindi yung kailangan mabago ko ang mundo. Look at me, I'm an artist. Magbago kayo dahil ang ganda ng art ko. Hindi siya ganun. Yun, challenge ko rin yun sa sarili ko actually.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Yakap. Hinga. Okay po, Sir TJ.
Again, coming from what Tere said, nung bata ako, it's all about proving myself. Nakita ni Sir Jetro na in every project that I was doing with him or when he was supervising me, it's all about trying to prove myself, trying to prove what I can do, try to prove what I know, try to prove what I can do. To the point nga na hindi ko kaya, ayoko na maging sound designer, ayoko na mag-artist. It's not meant for me. But because of that fateful night, may silver lining na nahihirapan ka ngayon. Merong reason kung bakit nararanasan mo to. It's these moments of struggles, these moments of heartaches is actually going to make you a better person. How did this particular art form change me? How did it make me a better person? And years passed, hanggang sa ang dami ko nang nagawang projects, ang dami ko ng accomplishments, now I'm already teaching. Who would have thought na makakapagturo ako now? So it's more of now, it's not what I want to prove anymore. It's all about what I can do to make others better, what I can do to make my students better, and at the same time, how are my students making me better? And it is by showing them how I work, it is by showing them the ropes, the proper way of doing things. I mean, may mga mali, may mga tama, and hindi ko sinasabi na tama ako all the time. Na at times, nare-realize ko, oo nga, may point yung design niya. Hindi ko man naintindihan now, but na-realize ko na oo nga, medyo may point siya doon. At kahit estudyante ko pa siya, oo, mas maganda yung idea niya sa akin because ganun yung konsepto niya. It's really more of me trying to make others better, but others also making me better through our art form, through sound.
Maraming salamat po, Sir TJ. So, wag nating susukuan ang art at kahit anong paghihirap na maranasan natin, yun nga, part siya ng process.
Mahirap makinig, I think. It's a challenge to listen for us as communicators. We love more to talk, to say something, which is even I think that's the normal thing. But there are times when we just need to sit down, we need to just calm ourselves, and we need to listen to our environment. And again, we listen with our bodies, so not just listening with our ears. Remember that the sense of hearing, the sense of listening is associated with the sense of feeling. So listen with kindness, listen with love to the world. As artists, especially tayo sa Philippine theater, let's be inclusive of other performances. As sound practitioners, let us be open to all the possibilities because we are sonically rich. If you just know, grabe, as in napakagandang it's sad if this diminishes in the vacuum. So, but hindi naman siguro. Let's just be mindful again of our processes, mindful of how we process and we do sound design in our productions. So, yun lang po. Thank you so much.
Maraming salamat, Sir Jetro. So, thank you for all the questions and comments. I hope marami tayong natutunan at na-realize from our speakers. Maraming salamat po. Thank you very much, Sir TJ, Sir Jetro, and Ma'am Tere, sa inyong time and passion for theater. And before we end, we would like to thank the WS Family Foundation for supporting these Theater Talks. So please watch all the Theater Talks episode and join us in all the other exciting events at the VLF 17 Hinga. So again, this is Crystal Manalo. Thank you very much. 1, 2, 3, bye!